Hello, Brandon here. I am the Ketchup Man. And once again, I recorded a whole episode and forgot to put the mic up to my face. Instead of spinning it, I had it spun around like this. See, you can't even see it. I should have known that it wasn't in front of my face. Anyways, so here's the microphone in front of my face. This is going to be part 2 of the series I'm doing about my wife and I's vacation trip to Minneapolis. I'm a big Vikings fan. I love the Timberwolves, but I've never been to either of their games. And after going to Minneapolis this previous weekend, I still haven't been to either one of their games. All right, so that's not what the trip was about. And but what it was about was going to a Judas Priest concert. But while my wife and I were there, we wanted to try out some restaurants. We only got the opportunity to really go out to one restaurant in Minneapolis because the second day was all about Mall of America, and then we actually didn't eat anywhere on the way home. And on the way up, we were still in Iowa when we stopped for lunch. So really, we only had one day to really go out to dinner, have a nice dinner while we were up there running around. So, but no. So this is part 2, and it's going to be about going to Hell's Kitchen for dinner. And let me tell you, it was interesting. So I have never had food that good in my life. And I consider myself a pretty good cook. I season up my food all different ways. I'm always trying to try the newest trends and try new things. And I've never had food this good before. So I had a cheeseburger and fries. Doesn't sound impressive, but it was. And they talked about on the menu, the Minneapolis style of cheeseburger. Now, if you don't know what that is, I had no idea. They take your burger patty, and when they're making it, they actually put cheese, like block of cheese. It's probably Velveeta, I don't know, inside the patty. And I added an extra patty to this burger. So it was 3 patties. I added bacon, I added mushrooms. It was probably like a $28 or $30 burger by the time I got done. I'm not kidding. But each patty had cheese, had melted cheese contained inside of it. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And the fries were hand cut. It tasted delicious. It was great. And my wife had a quesadilla burrito thing. It wasn't just like a burrito quesadilla or a taco or something. It was definitely some kind of fusion, modern take on Mexican food. Some kind of fusion thing going on. It was like a quesadilla in a shell or something. I don't know. But it was super. It was upscale. It was super nice. It wasn't Taco Bell. She absolutely loved it. So the food was incredible. Now the cool thing about Hell's Kitchen is that it's downtown. It was about 6 blocks from our hotel. We stayed at the Radisson Red, which was 2 blocks from the Armory, which is where the Judas Priest concert was. So it was kind of nice being central to some of the things we wanted to do. But in the block that has the Hell's Kitchen in it, there's a parking ramp. And the entrance to the parking ramp where you pull in, there's actually a walk-in entrance to Hell's Kitchen right next to it. And what's interesting, though, is that is not actually the entrance to the restaurant. That's the entrance to their coffee house and cafe, which is on the ground level there, kind of beside the parking ramp. So what's interesting, if you walk into there, from what we could tell, there wasn't really any way to go into Hell's Kitchen from there. We didn't actually walk in. We parked in the ramp. And what you do is you actually get in the elevator in the ramp, and you descend into hell, into the sub-basement of the parking ramp. And so you're under the parking ramp at this restaurant. It's the only way to get to it. But there's another bar that's like adjacent to it underneath the parking ramp, and I think that walks out to like the other side of the street or something. So I mean, fire code, right? You got multiple exits, but yeah, so Hell's Kitchen, the only way to really get to that restaurant, directly to that restaurant without going through another restaurant, was to go in this elevator in the parking ramp. So that was pretty interesting. That was kind of cool, actually. But you'll see some of the pictures and the motifs and all that. It's very interesting. The food was absolutely incredible. And before I forget, they actually gave us a coin to spend at their photo booth. So around the corner, almost into the next restaurant, they have a photo booth set up. So my wife and I got our smooches on and got some little photo booth pictures, which was just adorable, really. It was a great time. We absolutely loved it. Absolutely 100% Heinz ketchup. So they're getting 5 out of 5 bottles, folks. 5 out of 5 flaming bottles for Hell's Kitchen in Minneapolis. Stay tuned. I got more Minneapolis content coming up.